Everybody, welcome back to the Tony Nix Morning Show. I'm Tony T. As we're ready to knock out this college football, we got MLB on the board, NHL as well. And as we know how we work here at Tony Nix Time, we get right to the picks. First, we're going to meet the cappers, then get right to the picks. Let's say hello to Rod. Rod, what's going on?
No, not too much. Tony can't complain. Well, I can complain a little bit. BYU didn't get the cover, but so I'm allowed to complain about that. But give it to Ole, man, that he ever run for the Cowboys in that one. I think that first half was the reason why they got up and got up big, and BYU was chasing it the rest of the game. Give it to Ole, man. Ole, did he ever go? And the Lynx. Right. How about the Lynx Game 5 Sunday?
Oh, my goodness. The Lynx. Oh, my goodness. Can we do it? Will this happen again? Will it be six times worse, losses in the finals? That's tough to take, but they put the pressure right on that Liberty. I felt the Lynx coach had a way to, had an angle there to get the players to play. And they get the job done going to a Game 5. We'll say hello to Jorge. Jorge, what's going on?
14 leads.
Good morning, guys.
Hell of a game.
Good morning, Rodney. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Jorge?
I like the fresh cut. His nickname's Rodney without the beard. But had a good game yesterday backing up. But man, what an ugly win with Duke, man. How painful was that? I mean, throughout the whole game. And the under was there anyway. I have no idea why I didn't play the side in the under on that. I mean, even with a kick return for a touchdown, it was dismal. But at the end of the day, it cashed, and all my tickets cashed for the customers, which is most important. And very tricky day in college today. I think of all the weeks, this is the trickiest one.
Hey, Jorge, I don't have 18 plays today. Let's put it that way. It's that tricky.
Only down to 12,
huh? Tricky. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think
down to 17.
12. Yeah, 18, too many today. Way too many close, tight lines. It's one of those days. It's enjoy it as a college football fan.
A lot of short favorites on the road.
Yeah. You can't bully anybody when it's -3.
Worse, 4.5, 5, right?
Yeah, exactly. Those weird lines where you're like, yeah, some tough ones today.
We'll see how it rolls. Say hello to Ron. Ron, what's going on?
Yeah, well, Jorge's sweating out that under. I didn't have to sweat that under on Oregon, man. They just ran right through Purdue last night. Good win for me there. Of course, the ALCS was a big winner with the Yanks, and hope we will get another one today and close that one out. And I'm ready to roll. Like Jorge said, it's there's some very sharp lines today. You might want to look at some money line parlays in some of these games, definitely.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yes, especially a lot of those interesting matchups in the SEC as well. Let's say hello to Minnie. Minnie, what's going on?
I'm doing well, but yeah, I mean, I always look to those home teams first, right? I try to find those mismatches, but yeah, today, I mean, it looks like a lot of folks I like are on the road. It's going to be one of those crazy days. Some pretty big point spreads out there too again today. So it's either going to be, like you said, blowouts, close ones, but that's great for the viewer, that's for sure.
Yeah, it will be. It should be exciting television day to day with a lot of wall-to-wall coverage in the college football. A couple in the late night slot. We got a few more. We got a couple this week, so we'll see how that rolls. But let's get started right to the picks, guys. As we said here on the Tony Nix Show, we don't mess around here. All right, we're going to cover the Nooners, and we got quite a few Nooners here today. It's I think 49 game card on Saturday, 60 altogether for this week. So this was as far as FBS versus FBS. It was really big week in college. So let's start here with Wake Forest, UConn, East Carolina Army, Miami and Louisville, Louisiana, Coastal Carolina, Virginia, Clemson, Arizona State, Cincinnati, UCLA, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Auburn, Missouri, Nebraska's in action in Indiana. Scott Mindy scared. We get started here with Rod.
Yeah, and look at all these Nooners. Look at Arizona State in Cincinnati here. One of them 5.5 numbers that Jorge was talking about. And you look at this game here. I like Cincinnati here at home. Only having to lay 5.5. These Bearcats, I like what they do with the ball, running the ball. I think they'll have success running the ball here today. Average 4.9. I think this Arizona defense definitely can give it up to the Bearcats on the ground, and then through the air, I think the Bearcats will have success that way as well. And then laying the 5.5, I think they win by 7+. So give it.
One note there, Rod, on that one is Arizona State's quarterback's out of that one, the starter.
Correct.
Yep.
Arizona State's quarterback's big. So I figured that line would be a little more than what it is with the Bearcats. But I see it's
Yeah, we got the journeyman Sims. He's been all over the place.
Yeah, he's got
Nebraska.
28 years,
Georgia
20
Tech,
years senior.
Nebraska.
He's been all over. What is he? 8-year senior going there,
Right.
for Arizona State in that one.
Yeah, I got the LOL from my brother on that one. Just him starting LOL.
Right? See, this is one of those. Some of these college kids, it's like, you see him and they, look, he's in his 30s and he's still in college. But I like the Bearcats at home in that one. And then another one in the size one I'm looking at UConn here. Wake Forest on the road. Look, Wake Forest 1-4-1 on the number. That line looks a little bit weird to me, but I'm not going to take any onus in the line. I think they're trying to bait you into Wake Forest in that one. And I like UConn. I think UConn's going to be able to run the ball and have success, keep it away from Wake Forest. And we've looked at Wake's done 14 points, 6 points. They haven't had a tough schedule. I give it to them there. But this UConn team, I think, is just too tough up front. And I think they just bully Wake in that one. I don't know about blowing them out, but I think it's a close game. But only have to lay one. Give me UConn in that one to grab the win there. And then another one in this high slot you look is Miami taking on Louisville. This is a revenge game here. Everybody's thinking Louisville's going to keep it close. I've seen Louisville not look so good over the last few weeks. And I think when you give Miami time to prepare for this game, like they have had the time to prepare for this one, having to lay less than a touchdown, I think the Hurricanes win by 7+ in that one. Give me Miami. I know everybody's seen the recency over the last couple games where it's been close and tight games. I give them a little bit of a pass. I'm going to go from one side of the country to the other to play a football game, and then having to come play Louisville. Given that break, I like the Hurricanes in that one. And then UCLA taking on Rutgers. You know, I like UCLA in the first half. What we do is they come out in that first half and play some really good football, and then they just tail off in the second half. I've seen it so many times with UCLA. So give me UCLA money line in that first half in that one. And then another nooner. We're looking at East Carolina taking on Army. And does the line seem a little bit light? Sure, it does seem a little bit light. It's bouncing around 16.5 up to 17, down to 16. I don't think it's enough. I think Army still wins by 21+. Lay it with Army. I think they run over East Carolina in that one.
There from Rod. We want over to Jorge.
Army's been great in the first half of the game. But, you know, I don't know if the line's a little bit light. I mean, it's still 17 points, but Army's been dominant. They've been running up scores against everybody. But you know, can they do it every week? Now you're starting to look at all these teams that are favored, covering the spreads, and everybody has off weeks. That's just natural. And the pressure gets the kids about being undefeated, or their heads get too big, right? You know, they don't think they're going to lose a game, especially if it's a little bit new. So I do like Army. They've been awesome. I mean, there's nothing to say on either side of the ball, but they've been extremely dominant in the first half. Definitely throwing the ball a little bit more. So we'll lean to them in the first half. I like Nebraska here. I'll take a lean with Nebraska plus the points against Indiana. Indiana hasn't played anybody at all. And they ran the ball up. And even when teams are good and they have a soft schedule and they're supposed to be in the top 5 and they're supposed to, you know, a challenge for a national championship, when they play somebody that hits them in the mouth, that's a whole different type of football game that they play. Their mindset's different. They don't know how to respond. And I think Nebraska is going to do that. You know, they were able to contain Colorado's offense to 10 points. Indiana's, you know, they're going to Big Ten awakening. They're actually going to play a legitimate defense. So I like Nebraska in that spot. And wow, I couldn't bet UCLA with counterfeit money. I don't know how in the hell you can bet them on the money line, Rod.
First half. I'm not taking a full game. I'm only taking the first half.
What gets tough on that game is the injury reports. They actually put injury reports out for them. They both got a laundry list.
List on both sides, right? So that's why I think UCLA can sneak out the first half win.
Yeah, but you look at him averaging 50 points a game, it's kind of tough, but that's all right. Just thinking out there. A home dog, I think that got trounced last week or last time out that I'll take is Oklahoma. Plus the points at home. Getting beat when you're in that type of program, they got athletes on that team. They're going to be fired up when they get destroyed. But then at home, as a dog, I don't care who they're playing. They could be playing with, they could be playing Texas in this particular spot and give a better fight than they did last time. South Carolina's good, but they're inconsistent. They perform better than expected. But I think in this spot right here, a lean towards Oklahoma as a dog.
There from Jorge. Move on over to Ron.
I'm going to agree with Jorge on that one. I just don't understand this line. Now South Carolina's favored. It makes no sense to me. I think it's an overreaction. I think when South Carolina went into Tuscaloosa and played Alabama, should have beat them. But with Oklahoma just getting pounded by Texas, I think this is a way overreaction. And I think Oklahoma easy here. They should roll with no problem. I'm going to agree with you on Connecticut there. I mean, you got Wake Forest giving up 500 yards of total defense. Anytime I see that, I'm running the other way. Guarantee that. Arizona State, I'm going to take Arizona State. They can still run the ball, and Jeff Sims was a running quarterback, dual threat guy when he was at Georgia Tech and Nebraska. I know he really didn't have the offensive line there, Mindy, but Jeff can get it done, and we saw that late in the game against Utah. So I'm going to go with Arizona State in that one. Of course, I got to talk about my Auburn Tigers. I think they covered the points. I don't think they won the game. I think this is maybe a 3-point game either way. You could even see overtime. Think about the Missouri Tigers. They just don't cover at home. They had trouble with Boston College. They had trouble with Vandy. I know they blew out Buffalo and a couple other teams, but definitely take Auburn. They just can't turn the ball over. They got a great running game. And they got some of the best receiver freshmen, Cam Coleman, in the SEC. I think Hugh Freeze is, once he gets his quarterback in there, I think it'll be a different story for Auburn. I'm looking for a couple years down the road, definitely in that one. Miami, Louisville, I'm going to go the over. Miami's been consistently to over. So we're going to take over 60.5. Is that right now? Yeah, over 60.5 on that one. I will yield to the lady from Nebraska on the next one.
There we go. Move on over to Mindy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lean Nebraska here, but it's one of those. I still think Indiana right here might have the better offense, but Nebraska, I'm gonna say, leans to the better defense here. So yeah, I mean, I'll take the points with Nebraska on the road. I'll cross my fingers. Hope they keep it close. It is one of those road tests for them. They haven't really been out there doing much so far. But I'm going to go back, and I like Connecticut today. I have them circled here on the board. I do like Clemson over Virginia. It's that 11th ranked offense. I think that's the one that gets it done. I'm looking to Wisconsin as well. Wisconsin right now, I think there might be the only last hope to maybe get that Oregon team. They're, I think, a little bit, I like what they've done. I think they're kind of battle tested so far as well. So I'll take Wisconsin as well.
Yeah, from Mindy, I'll tell you what I think about these games here. Some of them, at least. I'm going to look at Louisville here, plus the points. Cardinal at home. They've been 13-4 at home to the spread here, getting points. I'll take them in this spot. Man, look at Hurricanes' margin of victory over the past 2 games. 4 points, 1 point here. They did play a lot of weak opponents and did some stat padding to get some weak opponents this year, did the Hurricanes. But that's they got the job done against bad teams. But I'll take Louisville at plus the points. I'm also going to be on Coastal Carolina here. Coastal Carolina's passing offense really improves at home. And when you look at Louisiana's pass defense on the road, giving up 73% completion rate, 7 yards per pass attempt on the road, I'll take Coastal there at plus the points there at against Louisiana at home. Yeah, I just can't lay it with UCLA. I look at Rutgers in this spot and bounce back for Rutgers. The Bruins, you take a look at the Bruins' losses against Power 4 schools on the road. They've been all by double digits. So I'll have to look at Rutgers. Another long trip for these teams going from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast, early noon start. So a little concerning there.
Hey, Tony, that's a trend to build. But overall, going across 2 time zones, it's about 50%. So far, in general, right? But I definitely want to see the one where West Coast goes and has to play at 9 in the morning. That's a whole body shock, right? I mean, the West Coast people don't ever play anything at 9 o'clock. It'd be interesting. I think there's 2 games like that this week where they're going across 2 time zones to play at 9 in the morning. UCLA, and then there's one other, Arizona State. So it'll be interesting to see how the West Coast teams, play early in the morning. How that comes out.
That's what you see in college basketball all the time, right? When you have those teams crossing those time zones, have to play real early. Their body's not awake yet.
Yeah, and then of course, they're probably just they've been awake right now and have breakfast. At 6 a.m. Their time. I'll be the only one on planet Earth taking Wisconsin and Northwestern over in this one. I know I'm going to be on my island there, but we'll get it. Wildcats have gone over in 2 straight. Offensive improvement for this Wildcats team. Sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes we see that improvement from teams offensively. We see it with Kent State and when they started conference play. But I looked at the over in that one, and I'll take the points here with Auburn at +4.5. Missouri is not covered against the Power 4 team. And they've not been a good home favorite, just 5-8 to the spread. Look at Auburn in this spot with pretty good offensive numbers this year. All right, let's continue here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show as we get ready for the next series of games.
Hey, quick note, Tony. Tony, from the audience. They said that the former Pac-12 teams going east are 0-5. I don't know if that's straight up or against the spread, but that's definitely.
I don't think that's right. Stanford won at Syracuse.
UCLA covered at Penn State.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, maybe so.
Cal won at Auburn.
I think they covered it at FSU as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the Pac-12, right? The Pac-12 teams. We're looking at former Pac-12 teams. Cal's still in there. Right. Yeah, but I think that might be that's on the straight up number there. USC going to Michigan. Did not cover. Lost the game straight up. That might be a straight up number there in that one. All right,
Stanford won outright at Syracuse.
Right.
Yeah, they're not former Pac-12. There's ACC. Also, they're ACC team. That's right, ACC team. No doubt about that. That's right. They did that.
I think, guys. I think early on in the season, that's not going to weigh so much. I think later on into the season, when they're all a little bit more banged up, and it takes a little bit more time to recover, and then you got to go on a plane and go back and forth 6,000. I think on your comeback flight, that next game is going to be tough.
I think the way they schedule it, the West Coast teams stay home in November because they got the rivalry game, and I think they gave them home games. I think that's how it worked when I looked at the schedule. So
that'll be the East Coast teams, then they'll have that extra 6,000 miles of jet lag, and they try to give them some buys too. But interesting trend to follow, a new trend to create and follow for this year for sure.
Yeah, and you see a lot of those former Pac-12 teams playing each other in the last month of the season there. The lesson to travel, I think, is what they've done. All right, continue here on the Tony This Morning Show. Let's get to the games here from the middling games here, and then we'll go to 3:30. We got a lot of 3:30 games this week. All right, we got South Carolina, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Temple, Central versus Eastern Michigan, Ohio and Miami Western Michigan, Buffalo, Texas State, Old Dominion, Charlotte Navy, Alabama, Tennessee, a big one. This game should be at prime time. Notre Dame, Georgia Tech. A lot of circles in some of these games here with quarterback situations. Kent State, Bowling Green, Toledo, Northern Illinois, UAB in South Florida. That Zeno kid there for UAB. Keep an eye on him, whether or not he'll play. Michigan, Illinois, NC State, Cal, Houston, Kansas, Rice, Tulane, FAU, UTSA, and we'll finish it up with Hawaii and Washington State. We go to Rod.
Yeah, we're going to start off with Charlotte taking on Navy. I'm going to take Charlotte plus the points in that one. You know what Navy's been doing, running up and playing really good football, but I think Charlotte can get the backdoor cover there. I think that's just too many points. Navy wins by 10. Charlotte gets the cover. Solid football team there. They can definitely score some points. I believe they'll be able to hang with Navy in that one. Give me Charlotte plus the points in that one. Another one, I think too many points. Texas State playing Old Dominion. Old Dominion at home. Hey, 3-3 on the year. Both teams 3-3 on the year. 10 points for Texas State on the road to cover. Not too many there. Give me Old Dominion plus the 10 in that one. And then there's that Michigan taking on Illinois. You know what? We've seen that Illinois defense give up so many Purdue, and I don't even care if you're looking ahead to that thing. I think I seen that and said, oh, Illinois is looking ahead to this spot here. Well, look what you gave up to Purdue. That was awful. To Purdue. And now you're going to expect to stop Michigan? No, I changed my mind on that one. I got to go with Michigan there in that one. I think Michigan runs it up. I'm not worried about Illinois. They gave out 49 points to Purdue. What are they going to do to Michigan? Give me Michigan in that one. Everywhere I've seen, it's too many people humping Illinois. Oh, Illinois. They're going to get beat. Pounded down. The Michigan defense is still solid enough. And then offense is starting to put things together. Give me Michigan in that one. I had to flip. It's too many. Dude, little birdie told me don't take that one. So I had to stay away from that one. So, and then little birdie, little birdie told me over here.
Little birdie.
Does your birdie have a name on?
Rod? This is one of those spots over here that one of those. It's like, oh, really? Yeah, no chance. Okay, thanks for the
Rod. No mushrooms before the show. Okay, no more mushrooms before. No more mushrooms before the show.
So giving Michigan in that one, and then as our buddy Brian said, this is a revenge spot for Temple. Give me Temple here over Tulsa at home. We've seen Temple get up for some games this season, and I think this is one that they get up. It's a revenge spot. I think they beat Tulsa. The line's telling you everything you need to know. Give me Temple. Lay the points in that one. And then you're at the other one. I'm looking at this spot. You're looking at Houston. Plus, it's down to 5. Shop your number. I can still see 5.5 in some places. Houston taking on Kansas. Kansas 0-6 against that number. They're a good basketball school. Give me Houston plus the points. I'm going to even sprinkle a little on the outright money line. I think Houston can come into Kansas and get the win in that one. And then the other one that everyone's been looking at, somebody jumped the time spot. We're going to go with Oklahoma plus the 1. It's moved. Give me Oklahoma at home. South Carolina, it's just one of those things. Everybody's looking. There's the weird line of the week. Why is Oklahoma? And when they were favored, now it's moved to plus 1. Give me Oklahoma on the money line. I think they roll over South Carolina in that one.
There from Rod, and we move on over to Jorge.
Well, excuse me, sir. I think that was the 9:45 game. That's considered early slot, Oklahoma.
No, it's not a high nooner.
They were all in Oklahoma. Don't worry about it.
So
I had a 12:45 on my sheet. So
Did you? Okay.
That's still not a high nooner. That's past noon. You're late.
Okay.
Well,
late.
mine's Eastern Standard Time. I got it up there as 9:45 my time. So, anyway, that's just over on some sheets. They could have the TV changes.
It's all good. I was bugging.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's get over this. I'm going to go back because we got Rocket Man on the show. I'm going to go back to my Buffalo Bulls.
Yeah.
Plus 1 here against Western Michigan. Hey, these guys have been tough on defense. You know, the offense, not that great. Western Michigan comes in. They're playing a little bit better against the teams, but you know what? They can't stop the run. Buffalo's going to play defense. They create some turnovers. And I think, again, they're just not getting enough value inside the MAC. Toledo, a good team offensively, but they were able to neutralize them and run the ball. I think Western Michigan's not going to be too fired up or coming into the spot. I'll continue to ride the Bulls a little bit on a lean. We talked a little bit. Here's the East Coast team going back to California. Now, California's a team. We talked about the traveling. It's had quite a few games at home. I think this is the third one where they've had an East Coast team come all the way back to come play them. So they might have some more traveling on their schedule. But 10 points in California? Nah. I mean, they're much improved, 3-3, but to be laying 10 points against an NC State team, yeah, they're not very good. Their offense is pretty leaky, but you know what? They still have a decent offense, and I think they'll be able to keep it within the number. Yeah, you know what? So what if Purdue scored a bunch of points last game? Michigan's offense Michigan wasn't what they were last year or been dominant. Illinois, this is new to them. They're 5-1. They're going to be fired up. And yeah, of course it was a look-ahead spot. Michigan won the national championship and has been one of the dominant teams in the conference. Even though they're down, they're still considered the upper crust of the conference of 4-2. So plus points there. Got to go with some dogs. Yeah, I mean, Navy, God, they've been playing great. But Charlotte, proved that they could run the ball last week in a big win. I'm going to pick on Toledo a little bit. Their defense is down. They've usually had pretty much a better defense that they've had in the past. Slight lean towards Northern Illinois here, as they're going to be able to run the ball, play some good football, and a total under Houston. Houston doesn't have much offense. You watched them earlier in the year, but they have a great defense, despite the fact that their offense isn't very good. So they're probably better than their numbers if they had at least an average offense, which they don't. Kansas is bad. They lost their offensive coordinator over to Penn State. Penn State's offense is better. Kansas is worse. This is one of those cases where they had a superstar coordinator that made a difference for the team. Under in the Houston-Kansas game.
There from Jorge, move on over to Ron.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long
There we go.
time.
That's what we need.
I ain't taking Toledo ever again. Give me Northern Illinois. Yeah, definitely Northern Illinois on that one. 202 yards rushing, only giving up 96. Give me a Northern Illinois to roll it on the Rockets there. So let's get to that one. And then that one's at Arrowhead, by the way, guys. Kansas gets to play in the Big House today. But I can't see Houston, they went to TCU and they got that dog outright win. I can't see them trying it again. So give me Kansas, probably a get right spot for the Jayhawks. I'm still waiting for Jaden Daniels to show up. A couple of years ago, he's like the Heisman, front runner. And all of a sudden, like you said, the coaching changes and everything, it's just horrible at KU right now. But I think this is a get right spot. If they're going to get one, it's going to get here. This is a great slide. We got Alabama, Tennessee, a couple of years ago at Neyland, the walk-off field goal, and looking at, Alabama's defense is just not, the same as it's been in years past. And, Tennessee's running the ball, Tennessee's coming off kind of a lackluster 2 performances, in a row. You got Arkansas, who beat them straight up on the road. And then last week, with Florida, but Florida's really owned Tennessee in the last couple of years. But this is it, third Saturday in October down here in the South, and it's Alabama, Tennessee. And I'm going to look at the Vols plus the points. I think Alabama probably wins the game, maybe a 22-21 type weird number there. I think South Florida get right spot here. I like South Florida. That line should not be, way up there as it is. UAB is just horrible. Get rolling out 286 yards rushing on defense. I mean, if South Florida wants to run the ball, they'll pretty much do that all day. And then for my last one, I'm gonna take Illinois as a home dog. I think they're doing fine. I mean, with the Michigan, I just don't trust with the quarterback change. They went to Washington. I know a lot of people think that they got robbed in that game, but Illinois as a home dog against Michigan has been traditionally pretty good. So give me the Illini and Champaign.
All right, just if Montrell Johnson out, Florida's leading running back out, and Haynes King ruled out tonight for Georgia Tech against Notre Dame. All right, move on over to Mindy.
All right, so let's start South Carolina, Oklahoma. I'm looking to the under in that game, and then it's the same here for Tulsa and Temple. Also like the under. I do like Temple, like Rod said, for that defensive efficiency pick. Then I am looking to Eastern Michigan. They're one of these folks out there with the 100% cover spread. I like that. I like it. They like to win money. Then we got Buffalo. I'm looking there like the other folks have. And then I'm going back to Texas State. And then we have Alabama. I'm going to take them on the road today over Tennessee. I do like Alabama when it comes to offensive efficiency, even though Tennessee usually wins on the defensive side. But I think offense rules the day here in this one. Also going to look to Notre Dame over Georgia Tech. I don't ever like to wager on Notre Dame, but they are the defensive efficiency pick in this one. Then I'm going to go ahead and go with Michigan on the road. It comes down to we have the 40th ranked defense versus the 67th ranked offense. So I like Michigan there when it comes to the efficiencies. And then agree with Ron also here. I like Kansas today a lot. Again, they're getting it done on the offensive side of the ball. 68th best offense versus the 89th ranked defense there for Houston. So a big middle slate, but I like lots of these games here in the middle.
Yeah, from Mindy, I'll tell you what games I like here. I'll take Eastern Michigan laying the points here against Central Michigan. Central Michigan really getting inaccurate play at quarterback, inefficient as well here. CMU just 1-7 of the spread on the road against the MAC this year. They've dropped all 3 road games, including you lose 52-16 at FIU. My God, there's something wrong with you guys. I mean, you can't do that. I'll take the Bobcats here plus 3.5 against Miami. Miami is a team that really got hit by the transfer portal and by graduation. I know Brett Gabbert's back there, but really not a whole lot there. The defense giving up 4.5 yards per run though. But I'll look here at Ohio taking the points today in that spot. Also, Texas State Old Dominion. I'm going to look at the under in that game. Bobcats defense is really strong in their 2 conference games, giving up an average of 13 points per game, and ODU is getting really poor and inefficient play at the quarterback position. So I'll look at that spot. Looking at that game there, and I'm gonna take Tennessee there. Blake was talking about that. I'm gonna look at Tennessee plus the points. If you look at Alabama's last 3 games against SEC competition, that's been their last 3 games. They're giving up 65% completions, 311 yards passing, 9.1 yards per pass attempt. Man, that is ugly there from Alabama there. That looks like a Pac-10 defense. Oh, that's right. A Pac-10 coach is now coaching them. No wonder.
Oh, yeah.
Right. No wonder. So,
hey, and another thing about that Tennessee, Alabama, they hate each other. I mean, bad. I mean, they have the issues years ago where they were snitching each other out for recruiting violations. The one thing about the SEC schools, or even down south, Texas, all the way over, no one ever rats each other out for recruiting and paying players because they've done it for decades. Right. The only time we ever saw 2 schools really rat each other out. You've never seen it. You really never seen 2 programs rat each other out on the same recruits, and it's carried over. And past the Saban era, Tennessee's fired up. I think Ron will be with me on this one. Those guys are going to be fired up. To them, it's like fish in the water, and they'd like to set a precedent. After Saban being gone. So not that they need any extra motivation. I mean, and Tennessee's wild for football games. My sister went there for a year. They just leave cars parked in the street and the cops don't tow them. They have nowhere to park for their stadium. They fill it up. So Tennessee's going to have a little bit of the environment.
Getting out of there?
Advantage. Yeah, they don't tow their cars. They just pile them up wherever they can park. They go back and get them. Yeah. My sister said the whole place closes down for a football game.
Same thing at Auburn and Ole Miss. There's just no parking anywhere near the stadium.
Yeah, so Tennessee will have a little extra motivation just because Saban's gone, I think. And I know that sounds kind of silly, but it's pretty big, for all the years Alabama's been dominant. So they're going to be fired up.
There, I'll look here at another MAC game. I was mentioning this Kent State team. They seem to wake up, found their offense here in the conference, and I'm going to go over there with them in Bowling Green. Kent State putting up 34 points per game against the MAC. But giving up 44. So that's they have 10-5 in the over as a road dog. So I'll look at the over there in Kent and Bowling Green. And I'll be on Northern Illinois here, laying the 3. Looking here at the Rockets. Where's their run game going? Only running for 2 yards a carry. They used to have running quarterbacks over there that would pick up that rushing yards, but it's not happening. They're not scoring points here. And we'll look at that spot there. Actually, the backup quarterback for NIU is actually looking better now in that spot. So I'll look at them there. They're going to take Illinois here plus 3.5 against, or plus 3 plus the points here against Michigan. Just again, they're going down to the 3rd string quarterback. They can't get it right there. Quarterback is an issue. They're just too one dimensional, and also issue here with the Michigan's pass defense against the conference. And Illinois, upside down team, you would think they'd be a rush first team, but no. But they're getting really good work at the quarterback position. Right, they're throwing the football effectively this season. So I'll look at them in that spot and. Let's see what else I have in this time slot. And the other ones, I'm going to go ahead and Washington State just to pound Hawaii here. Cougars at home putting up 54 points per game. I don't think Hawaii's pass defense has been really bad on the road. I don't think Hawaii can match scores with this Washington State team. Actually, going to have to match 3 scores, but I think Washington State pounds them in this game. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six Morning Show as we get ready for the next series of games. We're going to stick at the 4 p.m. Eastern hour here. So that means we've got here James Madison, Georgia Southern, Baylor, Texas Tech, USC at Maryland, New Mexico State, Utah State, Wyoming, San Jose State, Colorado and Arizona, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. Will stop there. We start with Rod.
Yeah, and James Madison taking on Georgia Southern. Give me the over in that one. Both offenses could definitely score plenty of points in that one. James Madison well into the 30s. Georgia Southern can definitely score into the 30s as well. Kind of lean Georgia Southern plus the points there as well. Track meet there. And then I'm going to take the plus 7.5 or plus 8, wherever number you can find with Maryland versus USC. There's that travel spot coming out east this way to take on Maryland in that one. And I think Maryland can hang I don't know if they win it outright, but give me Maryland plus the points in that one. And then where'd you go to? You went all the way to the 7 o'clock?
4:15. 4:15.
It stopped at 7. Texas A&M, Mississippi State is where you stopped, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at New Mexico taking on Utah State. I like New Mexico in this spot. Only have to lay 1.5 on the road. Give me New Mexico 4-2 against the spread. That Utah State defense is a sieve. I think New Mexico could score enough. Look at that total. Ooh, we're going to see some points in that one. 77.5 points in that one there. Definitely both defenses sieves. So we're going to see a whole lot of points. But I think after all the dust settles and clears, give me New Mexico in that one. And then where's the other one? Give me Baylor plus the points versus Texas Tech. I think they can come in and battle Texas Tech. I think that comes down to who's got the ball last, field goal type game. Give me all those points with Baylor. Give me the 5.5 with Baylor going into Texas Tech in that one.
There from Rod, move on over to Jorge.
Deion Sanders doesn't have the hype that he had last year, but he sure is coaching a whole lot better. You know what I mean? The guy's prime time, right? He walked into the Yankee dugout as a rookie without his without a shirt on and a gold chain and said, "Give me a bat." You know what I mean? Who does that? You know what I mean? And then he ends up being a two-way player and being a pretty decent baseball player. One thing I knew after last year, he was going to improve. Getting more players in, more coaching. And even when their first game of the year, when they played instead of exposing their defense and giving them some time, he went to a running game and chewed up the clock. When I saw that, I go, okay, Deion's out to prove that he can get a winning program, get them to better than a bowl game. And I think he's doing that in the spot, man. They've been well coached. They're playing conservative. They're not. They're getting some drives, sustaining some drives, helping their defense as much as they can. And it's an improvement. And I think Arizona was supposed to be a lot better. I think this is one of those games where he ends up 5-2, and everyone says, "Oh, whoa, Colorado's a legit program." Not that they're barely going to sneak into a bad bowl. They could end up easily into a bowl and in the top half of the conference. So, slight vote there. For the Buffaloes, who we've really been too fond of them until recently, and Arizona's just given up too many points. That one, let's see. Wyoming's just horrible. San Jose State's coming off a loss. They're giving up 32 points a game, can't score at 18, and San Jose State's going to be able to throw the ball. Wyoming's giving up 227 yards a game. San Jose's throwing for 332 yards a game. That's just going to be it's an ugly number at 11.5, but a slight lean towards San Jose State. I like Texas Tech. They're balling. At the end of the day, they're running for 170 yards. Baylor's giving up 164 on the run game there. And Baylor, just not as impressive this year. Go there. The total 77.5. I'm taking the under. I mean, I don't know how in the hell you can lay points over that. All you need is a couple field goals that'll ruin that. But Mexico has just been in some huge shootouts. And Utah State's defense is pretty bad. And they try to get some offense going. They can throw the ball. And that New Mexico defense is horrible down there. But, yeah, I don't care. That's just too high. Couple different stall drives or a couple turnovers that stops the long drive, and that could end that total. Let's see. I think I might have gone too far. There was another dog I thought I saw, but nope, that's it.
That'll do it for that slot. All right, move on over to Ron.
Yeah, I'm going to take Maryland as well with USC crossing the country. USC's been playing in a couple tough games lately. Lost at Minnesota, lost against Penn State. I look for a good effort, but the problem is Maryland just got embarrassed on national TV by the Northwestern Wildcats. Now, let me reiterate that. The Northwestern Wildcats. Yeah, that's not going to fly too well in Maryland. So give me the Terps to cover that one. They may even win outright, but definitely the Terps in that one. I'm going to look at Arizona. Arizona can run the ball. They can pass the ball. Good offense. And the thing about Colorado, they're just one-dimensional. And we saw that against K-State. Also, we'll get up there in the probably over the total, but with Colorado not being able to run the ball, 63 yards per game, I'm not seeing why this line is is only 2, but I look for Arizona to win by about 7 or 8 in this one. And what else? JMU. Yeah, you got to go JMU. It's total dominance statistically in that one. Baylor, Texas Tech. I'm going to go in the over here. Texas Tech can put out 57 in the second quarter, so we'll take the over in the Texas Tech Baylor game.
There from Veronica over to Mindy.
All right. Yeah, I'm going back to James Madison. Even though both of these teams can put up the points, James Madison still has the better defense here. So I'm going to lean that way. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny because, I highlight some of my numbers just coming through. And yeah, a big 70 showed up for that New Mexico and Utah State. Then I go look at the line. It was 78. I was like, what the hell? 78? I think I'll still go ahead and take the over in that one. San Jose State, I like them to cover the spread versus Wyoming. Wyoming's been pretty bad, especially if they're not at home. They're pretty awful. And then I'll go Colorado. They do have the better offense in this game. So again, I look a lot at these offensive and defensive efficiencies. I like to look for these mismatches. And that is a big one that stands out for me. And then I really like Texas A&M. This one here is a pretty big one. That road offense is 56 going up against Mississippi State and the 119th ranked defense. So give me A&M in that one.
Yeah, from Mindy, I'll tell you what I think here. Yeah, I'm on Maryland here plus the points. Boy, USC has lost both road games in the Big Ten. USC 2-9 to the spread as a road favorite. They have not been good road favorites for a while here now. Even back in those days in the Pac-12, they've always been given good competition there. Maryland has efficiency in the passing game, and that's where USC has been really poor here. It's given up 74% completion rate on the road this year. It's not been good there. New Mexico and Utah State, as I said before, a healthy Spencer Petras has really picked up this Utah State offense. I think they'll get more scores in New Mexico here. Utah State put up over 500 yards on Boise State and then put up over 500 yards on UNLV. I think they're the better of the two teams here, so I'll take Utah State here as that short home dog. Yeah, with what Jorge said about Wyoming, they've been pounded in both road games by an average of 46 points a game. So I'll look at San Jose State here in this spot. I'm going to be on Arizona here. The injury, Colorado lost some receivers there in that game against Kansas. Kansas State really pounded them. That was a real physical game, and man, they left some bumps and bruises on that Colorado team. Travis Hunter is a player to watch. He left that game late in that fourth quarter, missed those key series that cost him the game, and he's got a shoulder injury. Remember, he had a kidney injury last year, sat out a long time, but I just have a feeling he may be playing hurt in this game, and he's too valuable of a key player to trust that'll be at 100%. Because I know his mindset. He's going to play. If he can walk, he'll play. And it's not an internal organ like it was last time. So I don't know how effective he's going to be. The issue with Colorado has been that horrible tackling in that secondary. And Fafita could have a field day in this spot. Also, too, that front four wore out for Colorado late in that game. Had really no pass rush whatsoever. Broken defensive assignments. They found a running back who caught a screen off the field. There was nobody within camera view of that running back for much of that big game there. So I'll look at Arizona here, laying the points there. And something just tells me here. I'm looking at Mississippi State team here, and they just seem to hang in games. It's gone up from 17 to 20, but those teams that hang around.
Damn cowbells, man. Those damn cowbells.
They hang around, man. At some point, they fade. So to me, that's a stay away. But still, man, it's tough to get. Now you're getting 20 and 0. Nah, what a big line move from 14.5 to 20 there. That's a huge line move there. Hell, just give me Mississippi State again. You're gonna be one of those games.
They covered against both. They covered against Georgia and Texas. So watch out.
Yeah.
If you see some big money come, or at least that line move back down before the game, that was planted as a middle.
Yeah.
Definitely. That has Betting Cruz written all over it.
Yep. That one. I think what the people are saying is you can do that. You hung around twice in a row. The third time you're going to fade. I can see the logic behind that. That was but when I saw that line move that many, no, I got to go the other way. That's too much. All right, we're going to go to the 7. All the games in the 7 Eastern time zone. That would be Ball State, Vandy, LSU, Arkansas State, Southern Miss, UCF, Iowa State, Kansas State, West Virginia, North Texas, Memphis, Georgia, and Texas, the big one. Iowa, Michigan State, Kentucky, and Florida. We go to Ron.
I'll be taking Michigan State plus the points at home here. Definitely be taking Michigan State plus the points against Iowa. I just like what Michigan State. They've had a tough schedule over their last few games. Look at who they've had to play. And I think they're ready for Iowa in this one. I'm not trusting that Iowa offense enough. Iowa's defense definitely solid. Michigan State can slow up that Iowa offense enough and hang with them if they don't outright at home there with Michigan State. So grab the points there. Now we're looking at this time spot, man. You got a battle between. You're going to give me that many points with Georgia. I got to take it. With Kirby Smart and company, he'll have a plan and make a game plan for this game versus Texas. So give me all that points with Georgia versus Texas. It's just one of those games. It's going to come down to the wire. We've seen it's everybody's. Texas is overblown in this spot. I just like Georgia here in this spot. Defensively, they're going to pound each other. Going to lean to an under there as well. Tough game. It's one of those. Definitely be watching that one for sure. And moving on to this one, I like the over between UNLV and Oregon State. You look at 59.5. UNLV, that defense is Civ defense. They can definitely score a bunch of points, as you can see, but I've seen them give up plenty of points. And in that one, I like the over 59.5 with a lean to Oregon State to upright them in that one. It's tough to go play in Oregon in that building. And UNLV, we've seen on the road. They love to play down and let the other team get in there.
You moved ahead, Rod. You moved ahead. You're going.
Yeah, you sure did, buddy.
Did I jump a spot? Oh, I did. I jumped right way ahead. Yeah. I thought you were finishing.
That's what you get.
You went all the way to the bailout game.
Yeah.
I wasn't that far ahead.
All right. We move on over to Jorge.
Yeah, you look at 2 5-1 teams, Memphis and North Texas. North Texas can ball. Their defense may not be the greatest in the world, but they can throw the ball 347 yards a game and run for it at 161. Memphis has some talent, but we've seen them be a little bit. Now hasn't really played anyone until now, but North Texas plus 11 there. That should be a game. Ugly number, Iowa State, minus 13.5 against University of Central Florida. Central Florida's offense, 268 yards rushing a game, throwing for 200 yards with super well-balanced offense. Too many points there. Got to look at Central Florida. Kansas State, though, I haven't looked at too many road favorites, trying to stay away from them. West Virginia's just not that good. They give up a lot of points. And Kansas State is, outside of losing to BYU, has played phenomenal. I mean, they're tough and a physical team, like Tony said. That's a small favorite to cover. And, yeah, Georgia as a dog, when you look at some of these programs, that expect to get to the national championship and still has a shot, with the new playoff format. One loss is nothing. If they can go in and win the SEC, and they're easily, and they can probably get in with two losses. But they're not looking at it that way. This is a must-game win for Georgia. Texas has just got there. They're the ones undefeated with all the pressure on them. Take Georgia there plus points.
That's the points there. They're from Jorge. Are you surprised that it's still at 5? It did not come down. It opened 3.5, went to 5. Are you surprised it's still at 5? Because I hear a lot of people on the dog there. There's got to be some Texas support out there somewhere. That's what kind of looking at the line itself. But maybe this is a late game, so maybe we'll find out more as we get near the kickoff time.
I think Bo's on Texas. He likes Texas. I'm quite sure I've seen Bo on Texas. So
yeah, he's from Texas.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, of course. Bo's a homer. He's going to be on
That's
like saying Ron's going to be on Auburn. Come on.
Let's go.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
I say that there's a few more people on Texas that I know.
All right, we'll see how it is.
I'll take
all right.
UNLV first half. First half. The defense gets a little lazy in the second half.
That comes later, Ron. That comes later. That's later. We go on over to Ron.
Yeah, we all jumped in spots. Way down to 10:30. I was like, whoa, where are you going?
Ron's in a hurry.
We got to figure out what Georgia team is going to show up today. Is Georgia going to show up with the one that just dominated Clemson, or is it going to be the one that had a lackluster first half against Alabama? I'm going to stay away from the side, but I'm going to go under. I mean, Texas is 229 yards per game, Georgia 348 yards per game. total seems really high to me. So I'm going to take the under in that game. Good defensive battle. But, like I said last week, nobody in the SEC is going undefeated. I'm going to stick by it. Texas could lose to Georgia. They could still lose to A&M. We never know. So we'll see what happens down the road. The next one that I wanted to look at was K-State. K-State won at Colorado. It's hard to win 2 weeks in a row as a road favorite. I know they didn't cover well, depending on what line you got in Boulder, but I had the +4, so cash with Colorado there. But the West Virginia, they just very disappointing against Iowa State last week. Iowa State just came in and manhandled them. This might be the spot you might get West Virginia. That line seems a little low to me, so I'm gonna lean West Virginia here and sprinkle a little on the money line. Absolutely right. North Texas can throw the ball, and that's how you beat Memphis. I would look definitely. I think that's too many points for Memphis to cover at home. And I don't know if they took half the stadium down there, so they're redoing the whole stadium at the Liberty Bowl. So like half of it's gone if you ever get a chance to look at it. But they won't have as many people piled in the Liberty Bowl today. So I would take North Texas plus the points in that one. And what else we got? Iowa, Michigan State. Yeah, I mean Jonathan Smith is an underdog. I'm gonna stick with him. He's done very well for me this year. Got me and Rod that night at Oregon. We were both on Oregon that night, but he covered taking that last second field goal to cover. And then of course, at BC we had Michigan State. So I'm gonna stick with Michigan State plus the points there.
There from Ron. We're gonna go to Mindy. Can jump it. She's got to roll here, so she's gonna cover this slot and the final slot and tell us what she has to tell. Let's go over to Mindy.
All right. Let's do it. So I like LSU today here. They are 16th in the nation in talent. I like these teams that are more talented than the other. I think this is the one where Arkansas so far, they have covered all of their games this season. I think this is the one that breaks the streak. I'm going to go ahead and look to Iowa State here today. I like what they're doing against UCF. I have them covering in all of the categories here today in this one. And then, of course, I'm going to be with you guys with Michigan State. It's a 39th ranked offense versus 117th ranked Iowa defense. And that's the thing that surprises me about Iowa. Usually it's the other way, right? We're stout on defense. Hasn't really looked that way here so far this season. And then, we got to go to Texas. I'm going to say hook 'em today, you guys. Texas, 100% on the cover this season. They like to win me money. I like that. Number 1 in defense, number 8 in offense. I think it's going to be tough to score against Texas. And I don't know. I watched Beck play last week against Mississippi State. He just didn't look comfortable. It's not a guy that I feel like that looks like he's really comfortable with what's going on. And I don't know what that is, right? I mean, this is a seasoned vet type of guy, but I feel like something's not quite right. So I'm going to go ahead.
Still completing 68% of his passes, though.
What's that?
Still completing 68%.
Hey, I know it. I get it, right? I get it. Like, there's a lot of
letdown spot. That's a letdown spot.
But I mean, I kind of get what I get what you're saying, right? But it still doesn't matter. I mean, a lot of times, I can hit 4 home runs in a game and I still don't win, right? I mean, I just feel like there's something a little bit amiss with Georgia that I just feel like this is not going to be the spot for them today. What's that?
You think he was looking ahead to this game?
I don't know, right? Like, I don't know. I wish I knew the mind of the footballers. I don't, right?
If that Georgia that plays Clemson shows up, watch out.
That's why they play the game, right? That's why they play the game. Yeah. It's going to be a good one for sure. And then I have, I'm going to go ahead and go over in this TCU-Utah game. I feel like no one's going to play defense there. I also have South Alabama over Troy circled. And yeah, I do like UNLV here today. And then my favorite is going to be at that late night game, Louisiana Tech. I like how they play defense. I think they get the win here today.
I like South Alabama too. Let me bet that one. I'm in. Yeah,
Can I get that one?
What did I do? Did I give you the wrong?
That one.
Did I give you
You said
Tuesday
you like
night.
Oh, did I
Yeah.
give? I gave out a
Friday,
look.
we're
I have it
like,
on here on the bottom, meaning it's a final.
I'll take South Alabama.
Wait, well, you got to give us plays. Yeah, let's try to sneak in an extra winner there for Mindy. All right, Mindy.
You
Let
guys,
us know-
leave me alone. Leave me
Let
alone.
us know what you have for sale over at Tony's Picks. Mindy, a great NFL
We
year.
love
You
you,
know,
Mindy.
sometimes when I do my print, it's printed out the bottom game there. So.
We got you. We got you. Look how red you're getting.
We
too.
love
got
you,
We got
Mindy.
you. Here you go.
You know me, absent-minded most of the time, right? But today I got 7 winners for you, so you can go ahead and check those out at Tony'sPicks.com. I have my very best bet. You could go ahead and check that out. Only $19. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout, and we will get you covered for the day. I don't really like too much for baseball, and so I'm going to stay away. But we'll see how the rest of the folks pick here today in that one.
All right, Mindy. Got on board with Mindy over at Tony's
I
Picks.
hate the playoffs. I hate the playoffs. No one plays the
Playoffs.
playoffs.
Oh yes, no, they don't. Well, it's the power rating the 2 top teams play, and when they're not playing the bottom 25%.
It's so much offense with teams that have gotten pitchers here, gotten them this far. It's been pretty outstanding what's happened offensively in these series.
Yeah, the offenses are showing maybe a lot of people were saying a lot of fake aces. Keep an eye on some of these aces.
Fake aces. That's a good
season. I was hearing that all season long. Remember, you have top tier teams playing each other. So differences. See how these teams play against winning teams.
Well, it's funny, like you usually get the defense for the other sports, right? The basketball and now suddenly, boom, offensive explosion in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun though.
Yeah, it's caused also too by injuries to starting pitchers and relievers too. We forget sometimes the relievers that have been sidelined. But yeah, guys, get on board with Mindy over at Tony's Picks. Great year. Good time to get the long-term pass. Remember that 3-day pass to get you covered for NFL here for Sunday and Monday and today's card. And remember the promo code at Tony T at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, we'll say have a great
Hey, everyone. Thank you. You guys are great.
Good day, Mindy.
All right,
Louisiana Tech. Let's go.
That's right, Louisiana Tech. I will take Arkansas plus the points here against LSU. LSU's pass defense on the road, man, has not been good. Giving up a 67% completion rate, 9.4 yards per pass attempt. Arkansas is putting up some pretty good numbers here this year. And I'll look for them in this spot. A really good rushing team running for nearly 5 yards a carry, which could open up some plays downfield against this weak pass defense for LSU. So I'll look at Arkansas in that spot. And I'm there with, I think Ron mentioned that, and Jorge made it as well. I like North Texas plus the points. Mean Green, 5-0 the spread in their first home game, following a game on the road. And they've been competitive against Memphis here the last couple of seasons. So I'll look for them to stay within the number here against this Tigers team. I'll look for them in that spot. Yeah, it's hard to take, giving me 5 with Georgia. I saw something said where they said Georgia's won 100 straight games except Alabama games. So you back out the Alabama games, they won 100 straight. I thought that was pretty impressive when you play these tough SEC teams. I think they can stay within the number here in that spot. Again, I may be the only one in planet Earth here going Iowa, Michigan State over 39.5. But we're starting to see the Spartans defense has just been really bad against the conference, giving up 31 points a game. Iowa 4-0 to the over as a road favorite. Michigan 4-2 the over at home against winning teams. Iowa's got a pretty good run game, 5.8 yards a carry. That should open up some plays downfield for them in the passing game. So I'll look at the over in that spot. Probably will be on Kentucky in this spot because, again, we talked about the Florida's top running back out for this game. Wildcats 7-3 of the spread on the road. Gators 6-11 of the spread at home. Big injury here for Florida. So I'll look here. And, of course, Florida's pass defense has been very bad here this season here. 64% completion rate allowed, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. So look at the gate of Kentucky in that spot. All right, let's continue here on the Tony Six.
All right, Tony, I got to go, buddy. But I will quick. I mentioned it earlier. UNLV first half. They played a lot better in the first half, and the secondary just kind of gets a little bit lazy. Not sure what the whole deal is there, but definitely like them in that one. But definitely have some plays up. I'm working on some an afternoon package. Got to have 2 totals up here in the morning, and grinding it away. Most important thing yesterday was no matter how ugly the wins were, my package is cash for the customers, and that's what's most important to me.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Jorge. Having a great year. Over 2,300 units of profit for 2024. So get on board with Jorge right now at Tony'sPicks.com. And, of course, remember the long-term pass is the way to go, including late steam on those long-term passes. Remember the 3-day pass got you covered for the entire NFL. You got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday in there. Great time to get a 3-day pass and then renew for you on Monday. Get on board with Jorge over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, Jorge. Have yourself a great winning day, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Have a winning day, guys. Good luck.
Good luck,
right.
brother.
We're going to be losing Ron in a second, so we're going to start with Ron here to close out college football. Colorado State, Air Force, SMU, Stanford, UNLV, Oregon State, TCU, and Utah. Go to Ron.
You want me to go, Tony?
Well, yeah, you think you had to run, right?
Yeah. I got to go after the football segment. We can go ahead and Rod.
We'll go with Rod. We'll go with Rod. Oh, I like football. Okay, we'll go to Rod.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then I'm going to go right the spot that I jumped. UNLV taking on Oregon State. I like the over 59.5 in that one. We know, as Jorge said, that UNLV defense, they kind of like take the foot off the gas, and they definitely give up some points. So I like both offenses to shine there. Take the over 59.5. And you know what? Everybody's trying to jump TCU here. I see they're like, oh, Cam Rising's not going to play. How much did he really play this year when you really look at how much he played with Utah? That Utah defense is stout. Good luck with TCU going against that Utah defense. I think that Utah offense can do enough to get the cover and win in that one. That defense is just too tough. And everywhere I see is like TCU, because Cam Rising's out. Well, he's been out most of the season, so not too worried about Cam Rising being out. That's even better. Now Utah can focus and not have to worry about game time decisions going, is Cam Rising in? Is Cam Rising out? Is he in? Is he out? Where's Waldo? I think we might be able to find him over there somewhere. So, yeah, give me Utah in that one. Their defense is too strong.
There we go. From Rod, move on over to Ron.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Rod on that one. I like Utah as well. TCU's horrible. They can't run the ball. They can't stop the run. Their defense is horrible. I mean, you look at what Houston did when they came in there. I'm going to take Utah. I don't care if Cam Rising. I don't care who quarterbacks that team. Utah is going to win that one at home. They just don't lose at home. I'm going to take Air Force. I know everybody's kind of Colorado State laying 7 on the road. I know it's Air Force, but come on, seriously, you better be able to stop that option there. 204 yards rushing per game, and the Air Force with the better defense at home. You got a home dog. You got better rushing. You have better defense. Definitely going to take Air Force in that one. SMU, Stanford. I mean, SMU is just, they roll, man. If they get rolling, you can't stop them. And that offense is pretty tight. And Stanford just can't move the ball. It's a lot of points, but I'm going to go with SMU. I think there's a reason it's up that high. So give me SMU in that one.
There from Ron, or I'll tell you what I think about these games here. I'm going to be looking here at with the Colorado State Air Force going over 44.5. I'd also look at the Air Force side. Air Force made a quarterback change, and it's a better one. They're showing more offense with that quarterback change here. But Colorado State is a pretty good running team. What I feel here is that with the quarterback change, we'll get more offense out of Air Force. Colorado State's offense, though, passing offense, can exploit a weak pass defense for Air Force. Air Force here, 10-4 the over at home. I'll look for the over there in Colorado State and Air Force. Yeah, I'm going to lay with SMU. Stanford, just after that showing against Notre Dame. You come national TV. They've usually had really good showings in that spot, but man, they got pounded in that game. I don't see it. But look at SMU; their numbers have improved in conference play. That's amazing the way they're completing 75% of their passes, 11 yards per pass step. I think they're going to carve up that Stanford secondary here. So I like SMU there. I'm going to take the points with Oregon State. I'm not a big fan of the way UNLV's defense has performed here. They're getting exploited against the pass here the last 2 games. So I'll look at Oregon State plus the points. And yeah, I'm there with Rod there with Utah. And I think Ron was also looking at that one too. I'm going to take the Utes, good home field. But again, Sonny Dykes, when he was a coach at Cal, that team deteriorated. Their defense was horrible. And we're starting to see that now with TCU. I thought it happened sooner, not later. It's happening this season. It's happening this season where TCU is starting to deteriorate there with Sonny Dykes. Sonny Dykes is one of those good mid-major coaches, outscore you, but really not do much on defense. That's what we saw at Cal. And again, it's starting to unravel there at TCU now under Sonny Dykes. So look at TCU, what they're giving up on the road, 40 points a game. That's rough there. So I'll look at Utah here laying the points in the late night thing. I know Robert was asked about that one. Yep, I do like Utah in that spot. All right.
I like UConn. I like UConn to answer that question.
UConn too.
Somebody's answering 1,300. Sean, I think we got a consensus. I think Ron
I'm on
earlier
UConn.
that he's on UConn as well. So we're all on UConn.
I think Mindy was on them too.
Yeah, I think Mindy was on the Huskies too. So to answer your question, UConn.
UConn, the team, we're all on that one there. All right, we got through college football. We're going to let Ron roll here, and we'll find out what Ron has for sale over at TonySpicks.com. And Ron is smoking right now in the W. We got one big game coming on Sunday, head to a big weekend. Ron, what do you have going over at Tony Spicks?
Yeah, me and Rod will be shooting that Game 5 video later this afternoon, so look for that tonight. And I got a best bet in the SEC you can get right now at Tony's Picks. And I also got a 3-pack that's called my Goal Line Stand. You can get that as well. Probably have some hockey later on. It's a busy day in college football, but again, we talked about what's on the board, and it's just there's some really sharp lines. So be careful out there today. And everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Ron Crawford, get on board with Ron. Like I said, a 3-day pass, a good way to roll here. You get all Ron's coverage here from football, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Remember, it's a Monday doubleheader and Monday Night Football. And, of course, the big WNBA premium from Ron. So get on board. All right. Ron, it's always great having you show. Make it a winning night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
You too. Good luck, everybody.
There you go,
Ron. See you later.
Here on Tony Spicks Morning Show. All right, let's transition now to baseball. We got one on the board tonight, and we're going to have a game tomorrow from the Dodgers Mets as they're flying out to L.A. So the Mets forced that Game 6 out here in L.A. We'll see if the Guardians can force a Game 6. But we got the Yankees and the Guardians head-to-head. And, of course, the pitching matchups here will be Rodon. And it looks like it'll be Bybee on short rest. That came out late last night. I know I wrote that game up late last night when I got in, and I was expecting I was expecting Lively, but they switched it over to Bybee. It was announced after the game that Bybee will go on short rest. He only pitched an inning and a third there in his first start there. We see here the Yankees favored $1.19, total 7.5. Rod.
Yeah, and I like the over here. We look at what Carlos Rondon did in that game earlier, where he went 6 innings, only gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, one of that being a home run. It's the Guardians. They love hitting left-handed pitching, and you get to see Carlos Rondon again here in this series. I think they get to him in this one. Do the Guardians? They're going to battle, and then on the other side with Tanner Bybee, who he hasn't looked good at all over. You look what he's done against the Yankees. It hasn't been pretty. He's went 6 innings, given up 4 earned runs, a home run, a walk, 10 hits over 6 innings. Yeah, it's not been good. And now you're going to throw him in there on short rest? Yeah, give me the over in this game at 7.5. Yeah, that's way too light. Give me the over 7.5 on that one. With the lead, the Guardians to get the win and extend the series.
There we go. I'll look at it the same way. I'm going to go over in this one. They're seeing Rodon for the second time. Bybee, they pounded already. The Yankees' run production in this postseason, they're averaging 6 runs per game. And remember we talked about now, Cleveland is now 6-0 at home against AL teams that average 4.9 runs per game or greater. So, when you're looking at modeling, when you're looking at a whole season, you're factoring in the bad teams and middling teams. But now we're looking at upper echelon teams, right? So how does Cleveland do against upper echelon teams? Well, they're giving up a lot. They're losing games against these good offensive teams that come in. We always say, Cleveland, a great home team. But when these good offenses come in, they don't win. That's just what happens. It's a different scenario when you look at these playoff games. You got to look at how good teams battle good teams, Rod. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, exactly right. How do they battle good teams? And they keep up runs. So I'm with you. I like the over there. I still think the Guardians Mets. It's not quite over yet.
No. We saw the Guardians can put runs up there. I mean, that's also too. When when you're betting overs, you need both teams to score, and you're getting that.
And we've seen it.
We got that. We saw Cleveland battle back from a deficit to put the winning run at home plate.
Yep, exactly. So and they've done it many times. That Cleveland can battle here. So and seeing Rodon again. Rodon got the best of them in the first matchup, but I don't think they get the best of Rodon can do that back-to-back. He's just not the guy that I would trust to pitch a back-to-back gem for the Yankees here, especially versus what Guardians we've seen all season long, what they do against left-handed pitching. And now, what do you think? That's what the fourth time through the lineup in the last week. Yeah, I think the Guardians will be chomping at the bit to get to Rondon. I think he'd be on a really short leash, though. I don't think they're going to keep him too long out there if he's getting roughed up. But the Guardians get to him early. So take yes run in the first inning. I think we see it like we did yesterday, where we see runs early and often in this one. So take the yes.
Your feet there from Rod. Also, you got to wonder about the mental approach from teams. Do they check out from baseball? What I mean by that is when you're up 3-1 and you got game 6 and 7 home, do you check out, right? Do you mentally check out a little
bit?
The
Dodgers did yesterday. I think they checked out and we're like, we can go home and we got a couple at home. We just have to win a couple. We're good. And I think they checked out. It was what we seen yesterday.
Yeah, I think sometimes you do check out from baseball when you got 6 and 7 at home and game 5 and you're looking for a closeout. Yeah, I think maybe you let your mind ease a little bit and you check out a little bit. And that might have happened there. We'll see. We will have a game tomorrow in Major League Baseball. But let's continue here on the Tony Speaks Morning Show. WNBA game 5 tomorrow. Short rest. Heading out to New York for that big game. But we're going to turn our attention here to the NHL. I think it was a 13-game card when they checked. So we'll go 3 at a time with Rod here. And we got Lightning, Senators, Red Wings, Predators, Oilers, and Stars. Early action.
Early action. You know what? I'm looking at this Detroit team here. They haven't played the greatest. Nashville's still looking for their first win of the season. Nashville 0-6 at home in their last 6 at home. Detroit, you look. I've seen here Detroit after giving up 5 goals in the previous game, and after 3 straight losses by 2+ or more, the system that team's 52-19. So give me Detroit at the plus price. Coming to Bridgestone Arena in Nashville and get themselves a win. So give me Detroit there in that one. And the other one, another early start here. Tampa Bay taking on Ottawa. That's a 6.5, and I think that's too high. 2 goalies that can definitely stand on their head. First to 3 wins that one. Take the under Tampa Bay and Ottawa in that one. A couple of early.
A couple early there. We'll continue on here. As we get into later starts here, then into the primetime window here, the next 3 here will be Golden Knights, Panthers. Wow, that's going to be something there. Wild, Blue Jackets, Canadians, and Islanders.
Yeah, you look at the Golden Knights taking on the Panthers there in that one. That definitely should be a good hockey game. But what have we seen so far from Vegas? Well, we've seen Vegas plays their best hockey at home and on the road. Not so much. They just continue to add up the L's on the road. So I lean to Florida, but I like the under 6. Between Vegas and Florida, definitely goalies duel. Aiden Hill going in that one. Bobrovsky in that. Take the under 6 in that one. Another day game. You got Edmonton taking on Dallas, and I look at this, and this is a revenge spot for Dallas. The Oilers ousted the Stars in the Western Conference Final in 6. And this Dallas team's off to a hot start. They really didn't pay too much attention to their last game. Why? Because they knew they were coming back home to face the Oilers here in this one. They rested Ottinger for this one. So did the Oilers. They rested Skinner. I like the under in this one, but I lean to Dallas to get their revenge. I know what I've seen the Oilers do in daytime games, and it's usually not pretty. So give me Dallas in that one.
All right, we got that from Ron. Let's continue on as we're continuing just to be. Now we're in the primetime slots. Rangers, Maple Leafs, Capitals, Devils, Canucks, Flyers.
And looking at that Rangers taking on the Maple Leafs, you know what? I'm going to go with the Maple Leafs in there. The Rangers have been hot, playing great hockey, looking real good doing it. But what do the Leafs love to do? They love to beat up on teams on winning streaks. They love to end those winning streaks. They've done it 6 straight at home where the Leafs are 6-0 versus teams on a winning streak. And I think they end that streak there here in Saturday night hockey where the Leafs do play their best hockey. So give me the Leafs there in that one at home. Another one in primetime we're looking at. You look at Columbus taking on the Wild in that one. Columbus, they're 1-12 following a home win. So they don't follow up wins with wins. Do Columbus. Give me the Wild in that one. And did we do Carolina, St. Louis?
Carolina, St. Louis. That's the next one. That's the next slate. So let's close it out. We'll close out hockey. 4 remaining here. So we'll close out hockey with Hurricanes, Blues, Sabres, Blackhawks, Bruins and Utah HC, Flames and Kraken to close out hockey.
Yeah, look at this. A couple in this spot for you. going to look at St. Louis at home. Still getting disrespected. Big plus price on the Blues here in this one. They won last game. They won 1-0. Carolina on the back-to-back, having to play the night before. They did get a win in Pittsburgh, 4-1 in that one, but now you got to come into St. Louis, rested, ready to go. Blues, after scoring 1 goal, guess what? They're 5-0 following up only scoring 1 goal in the previous game. I like the Blues and the plus price there in that one. And then everywhere I see this, Utah Hockey Club's become a public team. Everybody, you see the Utah Hockey Club playing, everybody's jumping on board. They're like, Utah, Utah, Utah. Well, guess what? Boston, when they're on rest, 2 days rest, solid. 10-1 off of 2 days rest is this Bruins team. Give me Bruins on the puck line. I think they come into Utah and hand it to this Utah Hockey Club by 2+. They're that much the better hockey team. Give me Boston minus the puck and a half in that one. And then the late one, you know what? You look at Calgary, what they've been doing. Calgary, after allowing 1 goal or less, 9-1. Give me Calgary to stay undefeated, go into Seattle and get themselves a win in that one. Give me Calgary.
There from Rod. All right, we got you through the NHL card. We got you through the major sports for today. So now it's time for a parlay approval segment where the cappers will give you a parlay or a team total. They'll call it. Let's go to Rod.
And for me, a little parlay segment. There it is. We're going to go to college football. And first, we're going to take UConn on the money line. We're going to take Michigan State plus the points, and we're going to lay the 3 points, 3.5 points with Utah. Little 3-teamer there. Love it.
All right, I'll give you a 3-teamer here. I'm going to go ahead and take the points with Louisville. I'm going to lay it with Rutgers. I'm going to lay it also here with Utah. That's my 3-team parlay for here on the Tony Six Morning Show. All right, now it's time to take a look at what's for sale over at TonySpicks.com. Heading to a huge weekend of action with college football, NFL, of course, the playoffs from MLB and WNBA. Hockey's here. NBA starts on Tuesday. I think we've kind of wrapped up the NBA preseason now, right? We usually have the following final game on Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to get ready and travel. And then boom, they're going to be playing NBA here, basketball here on Tuesday. Let's take a look at Rod, who's having a great year this season at Tony Spicks, over 1,400 units of profit. What do you have for sale over at Tony Spicks?
And over Tony's picks today, not my usual 18-game card, but definitely still have a few plays. I've got a high noon triple. I've got an afternoon, evening 5-pack. So 8 plays that I've got in college football. And I think since we've done the rundown, I found a couple more I'll put in that I absolutely love. And then I also got my NHL sniper play of the day. Definitely, I'm staying away from the baseball. It's tough because I can go either way. I can make a case for both sides in that one. So it's tough to lock down a solid premium there. So I'll pass until we see tomorrow's action. But tomorrow's I got NFL. I've been solid there as well. So jump aboard something long term. Best way to go instead of buying all these plays and packages, a package here, package there, package here. You could have had a long term pass already. So jump aboard a long-term pass. Take advantage of that 2-for-1 capper promotional as well. Pair me up with another one of the hot handicappers you see over at Tony's Picks. And have 2 cappers putting money in your pockets. Don't forget that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off. Jump aboard. Let's continue to stack the units over at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right. Find a link in the description at Tony'sPicks.com. Get signed up with Rod right now. You see the great results from Rod. And remember the promo code TonyT at checkout will save you that 15% off. And when we get our plays in by 11 a.m. each time, we're not done handicapping. We handicap throughout the day because we have that late steam feature. So those of you that sign up for a long-term pass using the email that you entered in the system, that the late steam plays are mailed to you because we allow our cappers to post plays between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time. Those are emailed to you as late steams. A very cool feature here on the Tony'sPicks.com website. So get on board with Rod with that long-term pass. I've got 7 premiums on the board today. I got a best bet from college football. I also have a 3-pack of ATS for you, and also bundled a baseball and totals from college football for you. So 7 premiums for me today. But again, the way to roll here is get that 3-day pass. It saves you a lot of money having to buy the packages individually or the plays individually. That's the way to go. You'll save that 15% off. Of course, you get that 3-day pass from me. You've got the NFL covered for you Sunday and Monday with the Monday's doubleheader. And, of course, the baseball playoffs in their college football card today. So get on board and use that promo code. Save yourself that 15% off. All right. Let's see what we got here as we close out the comments here. Throw out the Leafs. And then, appreciate you there, Mark Green. Thanks a lot for your contributions here on our Tony's Picks YouTube chat. All right, Rob, before we close out the show, any closing comments?
Make one comment. Hey, check out the YouTube channel. If I didn't
right.
cover one of those hockey there, don't worry, I got you covered. Go check out the shorts. I've covered every game going on the board in hockey. I've also got a 3-team parlay out there in college football. I've also got a 3-team in the NHL. We also did the College Rundown show. So if you missed anything there, go check out the College Rundown show. Lots of content over at the YouTube, at Tony's Picks YouTube. Definitely go check out all that content. It's been increasing and growing. We're seeing more cappers putting out premium content over there on the YouTube channel. Definitely check it out. Exciting to see what's going on here at Tony's Picks. We're on the rise, so definitely go check it out. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. Gives a thumbs up. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, give us that like, that thumbs up, helps us build up our audience. Of course, we're always available on archive. For those of you who just joined us late, we covered college football first. You can rewind the video back to the beginning where we have college football, at the MLB, and then we close out here with the NHL. Remember, tomorrow's show, we're live again, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll have NFL coverage for you with the entire Sunday card for you. Might be tough to get that London game in because we start when they kick off there, but maybe give you some in-game there. We'll also have the baseball coverage here. We got Dodgers and Mets game number 6, NHL up there, and of course the WNBA game 5, the final game 5.
Big game.
Big game tomorrow. So we'll have that coverage here on the Tony's Picks Morning Show. And as I said, we're inching closer and closer to adding NBA. NBA comes here on Tuesday. All right, and of course, don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. As Rod said, we've got on-demand videos. Rod covered the entire NHL up there. Some more video there from Rod as well and the crew. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. Be alerted when we drop these videos, and be alerted when we go live with this 9:30 a.m. Eastern time show here. All right, that's going to do it. We're going to wake up out of you guys. You guys make it a winning Saturday. We're back here tomorrow on the Tony's Picks Morning Show.